Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video we will talk about this absolutely beautiful Echeveria called as Echeveria California Queen. Now I wouldn't say it's an extremely easy to grow succulent, especially for beginners, but eventually once you get experience you can definitely add it in your collection. The only issue with this succulent is at the initial stage when it is trying to get acclimated in the new environment. That's when it is a little tricky. But once the succulent is completely acclimated and settled in your environment or in your location, then it can be quite easy to grow. I had purchased this succulent probably 5 years back, and I had a little bit of hard time acclimating it in my environment, and eventually after almost 2 to 3 months it passed away. I couldn't keep it alive, but this year it has been doing quite well. I ensured that the soil is very loose, porous, well draining, very lean in nutrients, and so far the succulent has been doing quite well. It's been more than a year that the succulent has been growing well. It has recently started to flower as well. Now, as this succulent is from the genus of Echeveria, so it will get into its growing period during the summers, and winter is their dormant period. They do get affected with mealybugs, not very common, but yes, they will get affected, especially when there is a bloom on it. I had seen one mealybug on it. I got rid of the other bloom. There were actually 2 blooms coming up. I got rid of the other bloom. Probably I will get rid of this one, and I think yes, I do see one mealybug over here, so I think I will also get rid of this. I don't need it. I'll just trash it off. So yes, when there are blooms, there will be aphids or mealybug attack, but I haven't seen any fungal attack on this succulent. It's quite resilient to fungal attack, unlike Echeveria PVN or Echeveria Black Prince. They tend to get affected with the powdery mildew, even the frills as well. They also tend to get affected with powdery mildew quite often, but I haven't seen any issues with that. With this succulent, it tends to do quite well. The only thing you have to do is just do a visual check once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks and sprinkle some dry cinnamon powder on the upper layer of soil. I happen to see one mealybug, so I'm just going to do that, and I will also put some cinnamon powder on the cut so that it can dry faster. So that's about it. Watering, whenever the soil is completely bone dry, they do not like excess moisture in the soil. They can easily get rotted. That's the same mistake what I did 5 years back. So you have to be extremely careful. The soil has to be loose, porous, well draining, should dry within 3 days or maximum by 4 days. On the 4th day, it should be almost 95-97% dry. If your soil tends to stay moist, even let's say if it tends to stay moist 70% on the 5th day, then that means there is some problem with the soil. It shouldn't stay moist for that long, so be extremely careful. Most of the Echeverias do not prefer excess amount of moisture in the soil. Propagation is simple. You can propagate it via leaves. I haven't done a leaf propagation on this succulent. You can even separate the offsets once they reach a decent size. Overall, if the succulent is acclimated and settled in your environment, it will then grow very strong, provided you give the basic care requirements. Sunlight, you have to offer it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours after acclimating it. Less light will stretch them. If you're going to provide them with a good amount of light, right now as the climate is getting warmer, the succulent is getting in its growing period, so most probably the colors will start to fade because the pigment anthocyanin will start to reduce. But during the winters, if the environment is cooler and they hit dormancy, they tend to get really red edges and they look absolutely beautiful. Right now the succulent looks very bland because all of the colors are missing. As the environment is getting warmer, most of my succulents will start to lose their color and get into their growing period, which is absolutely normal. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.